Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ground Control Branching Out podcast. I'm your humble host, Neil Bailey, and in today's episode we are talking to Sam Fry about all things marketing. So let's get to it. Welcome to the podcast, Sam. Lovely to have you on here. If you would for us, just introduce yourself, who you are and what you do.
Sure. Hi, my name is Samantha Fry and I'm a digital and campaigns manager for Ground Control.
Okay.
I plan and implement external marketing campaigns to support business acquisition across all of the services we provide here at Ground Control. In that typical, I would say, marketing spiel, it's all about the 4 Ps. So product, price, place, promotion. So It's my responsibility as a marketer to ensure the most profitable products and services are put in front of the right customers with intent to buy at the right price.
Yeah.
The fluffy promotional element of things which everybody else sees, I also do, and is also very important in terms of brand awareness and reputation management. But the P for promotion part of it is pointless if it's only seen by the same people each time with no intent to buy.
Of course,
So that's something that I find quite fascinating in my role, and it involves constant research and data analysis to be on top of this to make sure that we're tailoring our content and we have the right data to get the right content in front of the right people.
For you, what does a typical day look like, or if it's easier, a typical week, depending how you want to do it?
What I like about my job is my day can be very varied, but we do have a marketing plan that we work to. So there is always stuff going on. It's often driven by like sort of seasonal things, like obviously winter, summer. At the moment, heavy wind and rainfall, nesting season, etc. So it's very important to be on top of all the topical issues. So obviously knowing what there's always going to be the stuff that we can plan and that we can talk about. Might be repurposing a case study that's related to some tree works or some tree planting. That we would essentially do during tree planting season to promote our woodland creation products. Or also it's important, the reactive side of it too. So for example, just making sure that we've got time each day to kind of do some research and horizon scanning on stuff that's going on in the media, so we can react to it and make sure we're in that space of our target customers. In terms of weeks, we normally have at least one email campaign going out each week. So we'll have something planned, again, based on our seasonal objectives. So right now it's winter maintenance with pothole repair. So I design the HTML email campaigns and the associated landing pages that are linked to those campaigns. And then that can be tracked through our CRM system, our customer relationship management system. So we can monitor which campaigns are most successful in terms of things that people click on and then lead to an inquiry, which eventually turns into what we call a marketing qualified lead.
Yes.
I'm also responsible for Google ad campaigns. So one of my daily activities is checking all of our Google ad campaigns to see what people are searching for, to check that we're bidding competitively. So again, all of our pay-per-click campaigns are tagged and linked to targeted landing pages, all optimized for new search traffic. So it's very much an acquisition campaign. I may often have to create a new campaign for a new product. For example, we've got the new GC Energy Solutions very soon to launch, which I've designed a new campaign for with a landing page. But the day-to-day management of the Google pay-per-click ad campaigns involves making sure we're bidding competitively on keywords. This changes all the time. So, for example, the keyword gritting will suddenly cost a lot more during a period of extreme weather than it will in August. So it's a constant social science monitoring exercise, never an exact science, but it's really interesting, just trying to kind of forecast what people might be searching for. And then also just checking all our common search terms as well to see that people are searching for, see what things people are searching for, and seeing if we need to add these search terms to our campaigns. Another daily task, check all of our we call them marketing qualified leads, but it's basically any form completion from a potential customer that's come either via a landing page on our Google ad campaigns, our main website. So that's the SEO, organic side of things, an email campaign, social media, and paid social media. So it's really important, I find, just having this set up on an email to see what kind of queries are coming through and what job titles and type of customers are getting them. And that really, again, that helps us optimize all of our campaigns to make sure the keywords are optimized for those types of characters. And often we do get a few kind of like hidden gems, hidden insights. So for example, we know that facilities managers are a target persona for us, but from sort of checking all of these inquiries that come in. I didn't realise that surveyors would also be a potential, they're often quite interested in our services too. So that's now something that we've added the job title surveyor into our external audience targeting when we're trying to target external audiences. So again, I've mentioned about the marketing content plans and calendars, just really keeping an eye on stuff that's going on externally and internally, and making sure that we've got compelling campaigns. So it might be, writing blogs, articles for the website, linking those on social media.
And do you then also do the writing of those blogs and articles?
We do, yeah. I mean, we do work with experts, but we're a small team, but we're a very skilled team. We're all quite good on content. We all like writing and designing. So but we all have slightly different skills, I think, which is really important with any marketing team, that you're not kind of trying to fight for the best jobs and
So you're doing by the sounds of it, quite a strong mix of the writing side of it, I suppose, graphic design, digital data analysis. You're doing, there's certainly a big breadth. Now, you mentioned a few things which I'm going to have to pick up on, because there's going to be a lot of non-digital people out there who, use good old Tinternet, but don't necessarily know how it all works. So in layman's terms for dafties like me, how would you explain SEO? Because you mentioned that. What do you mean by that? How do we use it?
So, it stands for search engine optimization.
Okay.
And it's basically making sure that our website appears as high as possible on Google or any other search engine to our target customers, basically.
Right.
So again, I mean, that's obviously, a couple of years ago, we branded and did a lot of work, like creating a new all singing, all dancing website. But the thing that's most important is just making sure the keywords are in the right place. So you've got your tier 1 headings, and trying to get your key words, the kind of things that you believe your key customers are going to be looking for, but with looking natural, without looking like you're stuffing with a load of keywords.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so there's stuff happening, not necessarily in the background of the website, but whatever somebody's literally typing into the search bar, that those are the kind of the words that almost the website is listening for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all done by algorithms, and obviously Google has its own reputation to protect, so it wants to ensure that what we're delivering is genuine. So Google will reward websites that have a real sense of authority. And so, I mean, it's always difficult when you do rebrand, because you do lose your page authority to an extent. So again, it's really important, really kind of sort of capitalize on the keywords that you already have in your bank, really, and then introduce new ones to make sure that you're.
But that's fascinating about authority. So what is it looking for there? Is that like authentic information? Is it things that are factually useful?
Credibility. I mean, a site that is very, you have to be honest, and but there's lots of things you can do. You can have lots of links,
right.
and particularly like you really want a lot of backlinks from other people linking to your site, but also links on your site. But links that work, images, a site that's also very accessible. That's something that people often forget about, but making sure images have alt text on them, so anybody with disability issues can view your site. So it's all of those things, just having a site which is very basically does what it says on the tin. So if somebody is looking for your product, we are going to be there giving them exactly what they need, and we're not messing them around. So then it's kind of it's within Google's interest to say, look, Google is delivering these results, and that's the top of the search ranking, so that's what we recommend. These are the people you go and talk to. So there's lots of things, just making sure you have a really clear website with no jargon, just make basically very plain English, but I say plain English, but obviously translatable too. Just accessible.
Because it's interesting you're saying about the accessibility side, because there's so many screen readers and all that kind of thing. It would need to be, I suppose, compatible with those, wouldn't it? So
definitely. And even things like colours. I mean, often,
of course,
we have this challenge. When we were rebranding, lots of people said, "Oh, I don't like the colour," but we were trying to explain to them it's not about the colour that you might have up in your house. It's about something that is going to communicate visually. And it's all about. I mean, you may see that you very rarely see the colour red on websites written in particularly in text, because when you half close your eyes on a website, red can actually be quite inaccessible. So
Interesting. I love stuff like that. Okay, that's interesting.
I actually learned that from Active Essex. When I worked for the council, because I actually went on a course then about disability, like communications for people with disabilities. So I learned a lot there actually in terms of it's good practice across.
Because a lot of the visual stuff is around contrast, isn't it? It's that contrast difference.
Definitely, yeah.
If I was, obviously I am somebody in ground control, but if I was somebody in ground control and I was coming to you because I had something in mind that I thought might make a good campaign, what would you need to know to be able to help me make that happen?
I obviously need to know why you think it would make a good campaign, who you want to see it, and how profitable it's likely to be. So I think it's very much about matching up value with the resource and the right audience. So we often get people coming to us saying, oh, I want a video, I want a podcast. And that's all very nice, but unless what we really need is the story. So basically, I would need a good story from you and some passion.
Yeah.
And images are always good, but we're creatives here, so it's always lovely to have genuine photographs. But we work with what we're given. But I think it's basically just a good story that is going to resonate with our audience. So there's always going to be the salesy stuff, which we're very much targeting towards people with intent to buy, which is going to be framed very differently to something that you're going to have on social media, which is more about brand awareness and brand advocacy, and just letting people know that we're here and we're a great organisation, we're accessible, we're ethical. So it's basically what your objective is.
So I think you might have almost answered a bit, but right back to your first part then. In your opinion, then, what makes a good campaign?
What makes a good campaign?
I mean, is it about the story? Is that what does it?
Yeah, I think when I see a campaign is something. So what's the end result? So, for example, selling more winter maintenance. So, a good campaign for me would be, so you know what the objective is, what the value of what you're trying to achieve is. Then a good campaign is being able to have a variety of content and stories and key selling points, value proposition along the way that you can use to show people that we're better than everybody else.
Right. Yeah.
So, and a lot of our campaigns, we will use, there's the mixture of, so you've got your end result. So the end result would be the MQL that comes through onto our CRM system that our salespeople pick up. So once it's got there, we know it's a good campaign. But then working backwards from that, it's the landing page. So somebody's filled out the form on the landing page, but from that they've seen something on social media, they've seen our email campaign, they've seen something on the website or something on YouTube. But often it's all of those things because it's an iterative process. So in the ideal world, we would love, to be able to send out an email and get hundreds of direct form of completions from that one email. But it rarely happens. But then later on, we may get something that's coming via that email. But we'll also often, it's a combination of just people kind of seeing us on those various different platforms. And again, obviously, not everyone's going to be on the same platform. Not everyone's on LinkedIn. Not everyone's on Twitter.
Of course.
But it's just kind of it's just building up that credibility and that brand reputation. It can be frustrating because, there's a lot of pressure from the C-suite to be able to kind of quantify absolutely everything.
Yes.
And often it is, you can't always attribute everything that comes into everything that you've done, but you do start to build up that picture and gather that evidence on, Google. You can do this from like Google Analytics and all sorts basically. So it just takes time. So
but I think it's important that people out there understand, with the examples that you're giving there, that marketing is very strongly commercially focused. It's not just about fluff pieces.
No,
there's actually a real strong purpose for everything that's put out.
I would say it's kind of a social science. There's a real combination between the creativity and science.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be like hugely creative to work within marketing, but you need to kind of understand sort of like and and whether it's, so a marketing team, you could have, you could have somebody who's an expert on data, you could have somebody who's an expert on writing, somebody who's an expert on design, or you could have none of those people. But you do need to kind of know how they work together to get that product in front of the right audiences.
Yeah. What would you like everybody else within Ground Control to really understand about what your team does? Kind of what are any some of those misunderstandings maybe that you think people think you do compared to actually what you do?
So I mean, as you said, I think there's lots of misconceptions about marketers, because I think so many people on social media, let's face it, every time people walk out of the door, they put their makeup on, they're marketing themselves. I think everybody likes to think that they are a marketer, and maybe everybody is to an extent, but I think it's very different marketing yourself to marketing to representing a multi-million-pound business, and being able to kind of adapt and understand that business. I mean, as marketers, we're never going to sort of be experts in absolutely everything, every element of that business, but knowing as much as you need to know in order to kind of, again, get those products and services in front of the right people at the right price, at the right time, with the and I think everyone has an opinion and thinks that we are the low-hanging fruit. So everyone, people are always saying, oh, can you put this on social media, can you do this video, or I don't like these colors, I don't like that colors, not realizing that much as I like you, you're not our target audience, so we're not doing this for you.
Yes. I'm with you.
And my challenge is convincing people of the science behind why we are doing something, and I do think that's really, so it's really important that our team works closely across the business with areas for us to fully understand the products and services we can promote, and position ourselves accordingly to our target markets, but also so people understand our value and what we do, because I know for a fact there's still lots of people in the business that don't get us, like, why are we here? But it's mutual respect, isn't it? I think spending time with each other across the business, understanding what people do. We're not all trying to kind of compete against each other. We're trying to work together and share each other's resources to make more money.
What's something, it could be an entire campaign, it could be one small piece of a campaign, what are you most proud of?
So I would say nothing singular springs to mind right now. It's always nice to get praise from the business development team if I've helped them to produce a flyer or a resource for them that's helped them to win business. Or one of our LinkedIn posts gets over 100 likes and shares. But for me, it has to be whenever business is won directly from any of our marketing campaigns. Right. So I can't really quote a clear example just due to client confidentiality. Just knowing that it was something that we created that led to the start of their customer journey with Ground Control. It's an amazing feeling. You can kind of see that direct link. Direct consequence, although it's a positive consequence, a direct consequence. Okay. So I always finish on, I was talking about fluff pieces. I always finish on a very odd kind of off the wall question. So my question for you is, if your job was an ice cream flavour, what flavour would it be? Oh, rum and raisin.
Rum and raisin. Oh, now that takes me back. And why? I'm going to have to ask why. Why rum and raisin?
Oh, because it's quite, it's interesting.
A bit interesting.
Got lots of texture, lots of elements to it.
Yeah, I like that. So, okay. So the marketing role would be rum and raisin ice cream. I like that. And
full of surprises, the element of alcohol to it. You can have as little as much as you like in it.
Yes. Definitely have lots. Thanks so much for your time, Sam. That was really fascinating, and just really interesting hearing the breadth of the role, but also I think one of the things that's jumped out for me is how commercially focused that role has to be. I think is probably one of the big ones that's jumped out for me. So thanks so much for your time, Sam.
You're welcome. Yeah, I hope that's okay.
A big thank you again to Sam. Really interesting to hear about this varied and very commercially driven role. Thanks for listening. Please do subscribe, like, share, and until next time, take care.